I've traveled before, but never alone. This is my first solo trip. The idea didn't come easily. I was hesitant at first. I asked a lot of people about it, and the most conversations were around safety, whether it was a good idea, whether I should do it alone. And while those concerns are valid, I realized something. If I kept waiting for the perfect moment, I might never start. So, I began looking for a place that would be right for the first solo trip, somewhere scenic, peaceful, and still safe. That's how I found Letchworth State Park. It's often called the Grand Canyon of the East, and it felt like the right balance, close enough for a day trip, well known, and not so overwhelming. Once I chose the destination, the next step was planning how to get there in a simple and realistic way, of course. So, before the journey begins, let me show how I plan the route. For this trip, I booked a round trip bus ticket from Rochester to Mount Morris. Mount Morris is the nearest town to Letchworth State Park. So, this is where I get down. From Mount Morris, the state park is still a little far and not walkable. Since I'm starting my trek from Upper Falls, I plan to take an Uber from Mount Morris to the Upper Falls parking area. Upper Falls is good starting point because it's central and close to the main trails and also the viewpoints. From there, I walk between Upper Falls, Middle Falls, and nearby viewpoints easily. Planning this in a particular way made the trip simple and manageable for one day visit. With everything planned, I boarded the Trailways bus from Rochester, and that's where the journey really began. I reached Mount Morris, and from here, I needed to book an Uber to get to the park. That's where I faced a small challenge. There were very few drivers available, and it was freezing outside. To avoid waiting too long, I decided to book a priority ride. While I was waiting, I stopped by Wendy's Pantry and Country Mouse Tea House to grab a coffee. It was such a cute place, warm, cozy, and filled with handmade items. The interior was beautiful and felt really welcoming. The Uber took about 30 minutes to arrive, and once it did, I finally headed towards Letchworth State Park. After the long wait and the ride, I finally reached Upper Falls, Letchworth State Park. This was the moment I was really waiting for. Standing here, everything felt worth it. The planning, the travel, the cold. This was the start of my trek and the beginning of the experience that I came for.